everyone. It's so exciting to see so many familiar faces. Brand Innovators, thank you. This has been a great event. And Christina, thank you. And Pizza Hut for sitting with me and talking about pizza and movies. And
I mean, they go perfectly together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
a good ranch water.
Yes, a good ranch water.
Margarita from Chili's, maybe they said
yes.
there earlier.
That's a good idea.
So we're here to talk about the culture and the evolution of the brand. And when I think of pizza, I think of movies, sports, integration in movies. God, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is all the rage at my house right now and brought me back to my childhood, but then also brought my kids' relevancy up. And culturally, they were in this first and pre-K talking about the Ninja Turtles and wanting to be them. That's exciting.
Yeah, I mean...
You're repping the shirt?
I know, I have to. Yes, it's my favorite jacket. Our influencer agency, RQ, actually is phenomenal with swag. So this is one of our pieces that we sent out to influencers for our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle partnership. So I selfishly took one, and I rock it all the time. But yeah, Pizza Hut, you guys all know Pizza Hut, right? We're a beloved brand that everyone has those memories with, right? With your family, after sports. I asked Kendra what her favorite Pizza Hut memory is, and this is going to date both of us. But going into a red roof, sitting on the red booth, seeing the Tiffany lamp, the red cups, and this is where we're going to age ourselves right here, hitting the jukebox to play New Kids on the Block. But what we are really trying to do at Pizza Hut is really modernize ourselves, right? Everyone has that historical memory, but how do we create those memories with that newer, younger generation that we're all trying to hit? So it's really about leaning into some of our specific brand pieces that we know that are authentic to ourselves, that we can repurpose for that younger demo.
I know we're both moms. We were talking about staying relevant. What genre and what are you streaming?
Yes,
when you have time.
Yes.
And what is your go-to pizza?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Now? I would love to everyone to kind of set the tone with that.
If I'm not asleep or have fallen asleep to some terrible YouTube kids program, we typically like to watch some terrible rom-com, or if my husband has plans on staying awake past 9:30, it has to be something that's action-packed or some specific thriller. So, but usually he's in bed, early. We're tired. But when it's time for pizza, it depends on the mood, right? I love our thin crust, loaded with veggies, dip it in ranch, just love that. But if I'm really indulgent, I want something really good, nothing beats our original pan cheese. It's so good. And we just launched our new $7 Deal Lovers menu. We've got these chocolate donut bites that just are so good, especially when they're super hot. So then that'll put you into a nice, perfect place to watch a movie and chill.
Absolutely. Yeah. We just launched another partnership on the Roku channel.
Yes.
So thank you again for that. And a lot of what we're doing is reaching that Gen Z audience, doing an interactive value at the forefront of Pizza Hut for your consumers. The #1 search term on Roku is free. We go hand in hand together. Talk a little bit about that and how you're getting that message out to that younger audience.
Yeah, I mean, specifically with Roku, we just launched a program on their Roku channel. It's an interactive unit that you'll see when you're watching their programming, and you can scroll through with your remote all of our different Deal Lovers menu items, and then there's a QR code that can link you to the site to order. So curious to see how those results come in.
I am too. We only launched a week ago.
I know.
More to come. But so with not just us, but across the board, a lot of challenges present themselves just when you're trying to reach a particular audience. Can you talk a little bit about Pizza Hut and your challenges you're facing in your current role and what you're kind of doing forward thinking for that?
Yeah, kind of what I mentioned before, everyone has that historical memory, right? So it's how do we reinvigorate the brand and make sure that we're staying relevant within those younger demographics and those more cultural audiences? So we've done a lot with shifting our overarching media strategy. We do a lot of work with influencers, making sure that we're staying relevant with the channels that we're purchasing and the content that we're putting out there. We also want to just stay true to ourselves, right? So we still lean into like some of our specific key pillars, like our red roof. We're never going to get rid of that. We were just joking, like I want a red roof in Roku City, like so everyone can see it. And like even our tagline, "No one out pizzas the hut." Like it's almost so silly, but it's great. And if you use it the right way, it's so much fun. So just leaning into some of those pieces. And then obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that was a huge partnership for us. It's a nostalgic brand. People my age remember it growing up, and this was an opportunity to introduce it to that younger audience. But we made sure that how we exposed our audience to the partnership, we did things like a custom AR game. It was called Pizza Power. You were a delivery driver delivering pizza to your favorite turtle, and then you would win, pizza prizes provided by Pizza Hut. Obviously, really fun swag supported by influencer support. We did a really great kind of PR stunt called Underground Deliveries, where if you were underground in the New York subway station and you texted the turtle emoji, a big New Yorker pizza would be delivered to you. So trying to stay relevant within the audience, but still leaning into the nostalgia of that partnerships, which we call nostalgia.
Well, just recently too, I saw all the rage was you took over the Sphere
Yes.
in Vegas.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
That was definitely the largest, I will say, like physical media buy I've ever done. I wish I was there to see that pizza on that amazing, amazing property. What was interesting about that program was it could have just been generally just a media buy, right? So leaning into impressions and leaning into that media KPI. But as we worked through the program, we really wanted it to be supportive of our launch of Deal Lovers. And so we turned it into an organic media KPI, right? So what kind of press could we get out of it? So we did a really fun pie in the sky idea. We were live on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, notably the busiest day of travel for Thanksgiving. We had a QR code on the Sphere, so if you caught the QR code while you're either flying or in, one of the high-rise hotels, pie in the sky, you could scan the QR code and get free pizza towards the Deal Lovers menu. So it was really fun. Definitely, I like to say we were the first QSR on the Sphere, so hopefully that sticks for a while. But yeah,
it's amazing. Mm-hmm. Well, I think going back to the nostalgia and the culture of the brand, you think about the Blockbuster era and going and using, I'm dating myself, a landline to order a pizza.
Yes.
Now you can order a pizza at the drop of a hat and have it in seconds, not seconds really, but what I would say is minutes compared to what it used to be. How have you incorporated apps and deliveries into your media strategy to make sure that they're really at the forefront, a DoorDash or...
Right. Yep. From a technical standpoint, we're leaning into AI to help support and manage our deliveries, right? So in store, leaning on the technology that's going to help the managers on duty really make sure that they're getting out those deliveries in a timely manner. We also lean into third-party aggregators in a handful of ways. One is we use them as an extension for our delivery. So if you even live in like a rural area and you don't have as many delivery drivers, that's been a challenge for us in the past. We can lean in on DoorDash, Uber Eats, and tap into their drivers to make sure that your delivery is on time. Also, what's been really great about aggregators is it's given us the opportunity to find not only new customers, but kind of a new occasion. Because like if you're scrolling through DoorDash and you were originally going to get sushi, but you saw a wonderful pop-up for, original pan pizza, it may change your mind. So we're securing new audiences and new occasions. And the majority of our stores right now are opted in to at least partnering with one of the aggregators. And we're definitely evolving our media mix to incorporate aggregators as part of our overall channel support.
How has that changed your media strategy to reach that Gen Z audience who uses a DoorDash or an Instacart or
Right.
Grubhub and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure many brands here have kind of done similar. We've shifted a portion of our media allocation budget over to digital via paid social, OLV, outside of linear, right? So we really just want to follow the trends for consumption habits of our audience. So, leaning into where our audience is consuming the media.
Have you seen a late night surge?
We have. So back in October, we actually launched late night in a handful of our stores. So the majority of our stores now are open until midnight or later, and a bunch now are even open until 2 a.m. I still remember like being in college, and that was like the one thing everyone wanted was pizza late night. So we're just trying to be where that hunger and where that craving hits, and making sure that we're not losing customers just by store hours. And that's also a part where aggregators can come in, right? Because then you're not hiring essentially more extra staff to do those deliveries. You can lean in on those aggregators to help that.
And I've seen y'all do a tremendous job too of like leaning in to not just building your own cultural moments, but really surrounding yourselves around certain tentpole moments that are already happening, like a Super Bowl or March Madness for sports, but obviously the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Girl Math, things like that. I would love for the audience to kind of understand some of those moments and how you really kind of embrace them.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to decide when the right moment is to lean in. Most recently, though, we did pick up on a TikTok trend around girl math, which I'm sure you guys have seen it evolved from girl math to mom math. I've seen everything. Corporate math, which I think is one of my favorites. And so, but we leaned into girl math. We used a popular TikTok star, Anna Sitar, and she promoted the Deal Lovers campaign for us, essentially saying, buying off of our Deal Lovers menu is free money, and just playing into that girl math theme. I think it's hard sometimes to hit those trends though, right? Especially if you have a really tough legal team, like we do at Yum. So sometimes it's hard to get through those walls. But one of the things that we've done is we've actually hired an inside content creator. She's young, she's fantastic, she knows everything about every social media, and she can jump on a trend like that without having to outsource to another agency or get talent and make sure that they are following X, Y, and Z. She knows the brand, and she knows how to speak our tone. So that's been a really exciting thing for us. It's funny, like TikTok will come in and we'll put up Cassie's creative versus like our standard brand creative, and Cassie's creative always kills it. So we've got something.
I'm probably happy too. The writer's strike has left it.
Yes,
So
yes.
She can even go further.
I know, right? Yes, yes. I don't think she's SAG yet, but we'll make sure we hold on to her for a bit.
Obviously, American cultural sports, very pivotal. We talked about that a little bit. How do you manage those official league partnerships and non-official league partnerships to have a presence within this kind of time period? It's evergreen, it's year-round.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
It's crazy. It's already December, and Super Bowl is upon us. We are a pregame sponsor for the Super Bowl. We've been in now for a handful of years. What's challenging about it is you have to work with a network that's airing the Super Bowl, right? So this year it's with CBS, and so it's kind of relearning the network, relearning your partner, and understanding how your product is going to come to life within their IP. But it's been really great for us. Pizza obviously is Super Bowl is a huge occasion for the Super Bowl, so it's a no-brainer to be a part of it. But it really does catapult us through Q1, right? So we've got Super Bowl, then we jump right into March Madness, where we're official of the NCAA. We do a huge on-site activation with the Final Four. This year it's going to be in Phoenix. But outside of just the local piece, we amplify that with on-air integrations on the network. We do show look-ins into the student section. So just trying to stay relevant where all the eyeballs are, right? So during that time frame, everyone is watching March Madness. So how do we play a pivotal role in that? I was going to say, the other kind of sports that we lean into that are a little bit different, we've done a lot with WWE. We just recently did a partnership with them a few months ago, and I think just the connection between Pizza Hut and that fan base is just so perfect. And so the creativity that comes out of those teams is so much fun to work with. And then most recently, we actually were sponsors for Barstool college football show. So that's been a roller coaster of fun, but leaning really in to a partnership and making sure our content is piggybacking off of what they're good at, right? So in their audience.
Was your WWE and your Barstool additive to your 2023 plans? And did you do
Yes.
focus groups? How did you determine?
You know,
Because that's a jump
it is,
for
yeah.
some brands to
You
jump
know,
into.
we were officials with ESPN College Game Day for many years, and not that Barstool replaced that audience by any means, but we wanted to make sure we weren't missing out on some of that college core audience, and we wanted to lean into a brand that was fun, and kind of wanted to do crazy stuff with us. So we actually had like a branded Pizza Hut helicopter flying over the city of Chicago. It was wild. So you'll have to check out that integration.
You have a Sooner and a Longhorn on stage
I know.
together, and it's pretty amazing. Will you be having presents at the Sugar Bowl for me, please?
No, I will not. No.
As we wrap up, I've just been so awesome to do this with you, and I just want everyone out here to kind of, what advice would you give other marketers looking to foster brand love and advocacy when they're trying to do some of these new things? I think that advice is really pivotal for a brand. Is interesting.
I think you have to stay true to yourself, right? We can find our way in places that just feel totally unauthentic and just, it doesn't feel real. Like partnering with TM&T, like that, there was no mistake that we should have been a part of that. If one of our competitors were, we would have been sick to our stomach, right? Just knowing that they took that from us. But I think it's really important to stay true to yourself. Don't try too hard, but lean into what you have. So for a long time, we really wanted to pull away from nostalgia as much as we could. But there is something about it. There's something about the red roof. There's something about our Tiffany lamp that we can incorporate and shift to be more modern for that, and more everyday for that younger audience.
Thank you. I want to open it up for questions. I know we have 5 minutes, so I want to make sure we're on time for everyone before their break.
Love the Ninja Turtles, like same thing, right? Nostalgia, the whole deal. How does something like that come about? Does Universal come to you? Do you go to them? Is there an intermediary? It just makes sense, but someone's got to call someone to.
It was actually at Upfronts the year prior, and we were at dinner with Paramount, and it just kind of came up, and they're like, "Are you interested in this? Because I think Domino's is." And I was like, threw myself across the table, and I was like, I have no authority, but I will sign this right now, So I was like, there's no way. So it was very much quick after that. It was a very long process to get that deal done, but yeah, I was like, absolutely not. No one can have this, but yeah.
So you're saying that we should just give each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's about relationships, right? If I wouldn't have had that relationship with our Paramount partner, he may not have had that trust in me to bring it to me off the cuff like that without doing a full presentation to our CMO, to our president, and all that stuff. It was a very casual conversation, like, hey, this is coming back, Seth Rogen, what do you think? And it was like, absolutely. Oh, the Tiffany lamp, if you haven't seen it, it's like this old school stained glass lampshade that was in all of our restaurants that said Pizza Hut around it. And so we actually leaned into that a little bit this year as well and created bucket hats, because I guess bucket hats are all the rage with those young kids. And we created a Tiffany lamp bucket hat. So trying to combine something with that nostalgia with more modern day. So look up Tiffany lamp. You'll recognize it when you see it. I think there's Shiner out there. I saw it. So yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.